We'll just get started. So hello everyone, welcome to this month's town hall. We have some exciting updates for you. Uh, so a quick glimpse of what we are going to present. On the lead connector communications, we have updates both for the phone system, fondly we call it PLU ISP, and also for the email system. So email ISP is also in the works. So we want to share some updates regarding that. We have some cool new updates to membership, mobile apps. There is some cool new functionality we are building for SaaS mode, those of you who are on the Pro plan. We have some updates on WordPress. We have reworked the entire setup process for WordPress. And then we have some updates with recurring invoices, and CRM team also has some updates for you. So we'll just get started. And so at a glimpse, Shubham, do you want to take over from here?
Sure. So hello everyone, welcome today. So on the lead connector phone system, I'll just give you a rundown on what we have delivered and what's the upcoming things that are planned. So major feature released in last few months were more on the improving the speed for the billing and making fixes on the lead connector, like making it more stable, be it on calling, SMS, or the billing capabilities, and how can we enhance the overall compliance part for other messages so that the deliverability increases and there is a less risk in getting suspension from our telephony partner. So with that respect, we incorporated the DND management, the opt-out language, and the sender ID info edition on the bulk SMS on your first SMS to a particular contact. Most of the upcoming features will involve the A2P 10 DLC manager to make your messages more compliant with respect to the US policies. Secondly, the regulatory bundle and the address bundle flow so that the geographic region increases, like you would be able to procure Australian numbers or create Australian regulatory bundle from within the application itself. Then toll-free number registration, again, more on the compliance part. And then we are planning to improve the overall experience of the locations and the agency's phone number page so that it's much more easier to use and much more convenient. This is the DND management which we moved last month. Based on the error codes that we receive from our carrier partners, we enable a temporary or permanent DND so that it does not increase your overall error percentage and carrier does not start whitelisting or blocking your SMSs or phone numbers altogether. This could be seen at a very contact level. So each of the contacts can have their DND preferences. That's mostly on DND. The opt-out and the sender ID information for each of the SMSs that you would be sending from bulk actions at this moment will have the opt-out keyword and the sender ID info automatically linked to that message. If the opt-out keyword is already present, we'll not link the opt-out message. And then at a location level, you can go ahead and customize the info. So if you see at the bottom of the screen, you have an option to customize both of the messages. So you can customize it as to your use case so that it's much more easier and you're compliant enough.
And just to add on to this only applies to the accounts which are on Twilio ISP. And you can actually disable this feature if you are 100% confident that your clients are not going to spam. If you have known them for a while and you can trust them, then you can actually disable this feature if you want. But if you are doing SaaS mode and if you are getting clients where you do not trust them yet or you do not know the kind of practices they have, we would recommend turning this on. Otherwise, I mean, our telephone partners and carriers, they start having a problem with this. So again, this is an optional feature. It's designed to sort of pin down your error rates.
This is one of the upcoming features that we are working right now. This is more again on the compliance part. So generally what happens, a good error rate or opt-out rate. Error rate is basically the error codes or the undelivered SMSs codes that you get. And opt-out rate is when someone mark your message as spam or send out a stop or do not receive stuff. So we would be sending out a warning email at a 4.5% for the error rate and for opt-out rate at 0.2%. And eventually, if we see a lot of error rates still persisting, we'll have to temporarily block the messaging capabilities. Again, this is also applicable to the lead connector system because we want to make you much more compliant, your locations to be compliant enough so that they are following and they do not get a permanent suspension from the telephony partners or the carriers. Shivam, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I think you covered most of it. And again, what we are doing is before something goes wrong, like before Twilio suspends a sub account or before the phone numbers get blacklisted by carriers, we are sort of placing our threshold below that level. And we will inform you first that, hey, it looks like there's something going wrong in this location. Just talk to your client, fix it at your end so that you don't lose your phone numbers. So that's how it works.
And this is one of the upcoming features. As we speak, this is currently Q8. And within the application, you can go ahead and create regulatory bundle and the addresses, which you can further use for your phone number procurement. So this would be applicable for all the countries that is available on the Twilio side also. So maybe it's applicable for Australia, UK, any other countries as per the regulations or as per the updated regulations. You can go ahead and create the bundles, go ahead and buy your phone numbers so that it's much more easier and you have a broader geographical region.
And this is designed to immensely benefit SaaS agencies that are operating in Europe, Australia, and Latin American countries. So, I mean, this was always a problem that, I signed up a SaaS client in these regions, but they require a regulatory bundle. It's my Twilio account. How do I do it for them? It sort of just made doing SaaS more difficult in these locations. So this is how we are solving that problem. Your clients can manage it themselves. And best of all, if your clients are in the US, they will not be bothered about by this. They won't even see this option. So only when the location country is, let's say, in Europe, Australia, or Latin American countries, only that's when your clients would see this.
That's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Shivam. So quick updates on Lead Connector email. So, I mean, we have been operating the Lead Connector phone system, the Twilio ISP, for a while now. We have learned a lot. The beta looks really good. There were some issues reported. We have fixed all of them. So now what we are doing is we are taking that learning and we are trying to improve the email experience. And this is a problem that has been reported by a lot of our affiliates and a lot of our SaaS agencies. So when you refer someone to the platform or when you get a new SaaS client, setting up the mailgun part and taking the API key and putting it in the system, this is something people dislike and it acts as a big friction during their onboarding. So we are just going to take ownership of email sending altogether. And in future, your clients or your referrals won't even have to bother about it. We have also made some other improvements. There are a lot of people currently sending email using high level and not using their own Mailgun account. For them, we have put in error monitoring. We have made a lot of delivery improvements, as I'll show you later. Very soon, we are going to introduce the billing mechanism for sending emails and email validation. So we'll just go through that now. So just like we talked about a solution for error monitoring in the Lead Connector phone system, we have a similar solution for email as well. So whenever we detect that, hey, your bounce rate is getting very high or your unsubscribe rate is getting very high, before Mailgun or other email service providers actually block your domain, before that happens, we give you a warning and we say that, hey, it looks like something is up here. Please control it before it gets out of hand. Because we have had cases where people actually got blocked from Gmail. And then it took us like 2 weeks worth of work negotiating with their support team and trying to get that delisted. So this is a scenario we want to avoid and just make the system more robust. As you can see, these efforts have actually paid off. Everyone who uses high level to send emails today, their failure rate has gone down from 17% to 5%. And we have improved the delivery rate from 85% and 95%. This is 95% delivery, not for our emails, but all of our agencies that are using high level to send emails. So 95% deliverability is great. And I mean, that's why we are just continuing down this path. These are the limits, like the acceptable level is 5%, but we will send you a warning at 3% bounce rate so that you can take corrective measure. Similarly, the unsubscribe rate, 1.4% is acceptable, but we'll send you a warning at 1%, so on and so forth. Now, email billing. So, I mean, we worked out the cost in this, and we looked at what Mailgun charges, and we wanted to be more affordable than Mailgun, just because we love our agencies and you have trusted us with the beta. So we are actually, the mailgun cost is about 0.0075 per email. So that's like 75 cents per thousand email. We would actually be charging somewhere around 67, 68 cents per thousand emails. So we are roughly 10% cheaper than Mailgun. This is what we are planning, and this is how we will roll out the pricing. But this is still in the future. This is being worked on. Another highlight over here is you can set up different markups. Like if you are doing SaaS, you can set up different markups for email rebilling and email verification rebilling. Because email validations are a bit more costly, so agencies might want to have, let's say, a 1.5x or a 2x markup, whereas email is quite cheap, so you can take it up to like crank it up to 4x to 5x. So we are building in that flexibility right from the start. Now, how is the email verification going to work? So this is a work in progress. We are still finalizing the product spec, but the way we are doing this is email validations will not be necessary until your clients uh, do something that causes a very high bounce rate or a high unsubscribe rate. If we detect a very high bounce rate and we find out that the emails are probably not cleaned up and there are a lot of bad emails in the list, we would ask your clients to validate it, and obviously it will respect your email validation markup. Similarly, when you import a list, we will just quickly scan through all the emails and we will do a risk assessment. If the list is clean, if it does not have bad emails, then the risk level is going to be very low and validation is not necessary. But if the risk level is very high for a list that you just imported, that's when we would nudge your clients that it would be a good idea to validate it, because if you send to this list, your error rates are going to be very high. So that's how the email verification thing is going to work. So currently, like everyone who uses high level to send emails, this is one of the complaints we get, where they cannot set up their own domain. They have to use messagesender.com, as the primary sending domain. So we are going to change that very soon. You will be able to configure your own email sending domains, which should further improve your deliverability if you are sending a lot of emails. Now, talking specifically about the ramps that we have built in these models. So one concern that we get from our SaaS agencies is that a client showed up, they blasted through a bunch of messages, they blasted through a bunch of emails, they uploaded a list of 50,000, 60,000 contacts. And now, either they're disputing the charge or, their card has failed, I'm unable to collect from them. Things like this happen all the time. So on the Twilio ISV and the email ISV, if you're using the lead connector communication system, you will be able to control a ramp for all of your new clients. So you have three options. Either you can put them on the basic ramp, which is on day one, they can send 250 SMS, 250 emails, then it becomes 500, 750, so on and so forth. And after the seventh day, they can send 5,000 SMS per day and 10,000 emails per day. This is going to work for 95% of your clients. Now, let's say you have an old client and you want to give them a relaxed ramp, or maybe you have a buddy who's now becoming your client, who is buying your SaaS. What do you do then? You want to obviously give them a relaxed ramp, right? So that is the second option. You can take this action yourself in the system. You can relax the ramp. The limits are going to be much higher. And now the third category, the outliers, wherein you have a client who is just massive on texting or massive on email. Probably they are sending something like 50,000 SMS per day. If you trust them that they're doing a good job and these 50,000 SMS are legitimate, these 100,000 emails are legitimate, you can actually set it to a custom limit yourself. You can just define the limit to be whatever it is. So you have the flexibility and as an agency to regulate how your clients use up messaging and email so that there isn't a surprise later. Next thing, Neelas, do you want to take over from here?
Yep, Shivam, thanks for putting it ahead. Yeah, so there are some cool things coming out on mobile. The mobile app, both lead connector, high level, and for white label. Invoicing is live. You can go ahead, create invoices, request for payments, collect those payments, visualize all those things in dashboard. Plenty of cool stuff that's happening, and this is live. This is live for lead connector and high level. White labels will get this update rolling out starting today, and most likely everyone will have it in the next 2 weeks. And also, like just a small update, we are having a slight change of this process wherein white labels are getting the update in line with lead connector or the high level apps. So you guys will be on par on whatever we are releasing very soon, like coming out this quarter. We are doing a lot of improvement on the deployment pipeline. So no worries for the white label people. But right now, this is live for lead connector and high level. Go download. It's version 2.4.xyz, and that should have the invoicing updates. There are a couple of speed improvements that we did. There is a lot of speed improvements actually. Conversations load at like conversation speeds are increased enormously. We have improved it by 10x. The location switching, if you are added to more than one location, that would be a pleasant experience for you where you can just switch locations. Uh, like you need to check the experience and get back with the feedbacks. That's it. What is coming up? We are coming up with quick actions. So quick actions will let you do all these things from any of the screens in the mobile app. You can send an email, you can add a contact, you can book an appointment, request review, make a call, send SMS from all the screens. What else? When you press and hold the high level or lead connector icon, without even entering the app, you will get these quick actions, which will directly take you to the respective screens and you can easily book your appointment. So this is coming up anytime soon. And Shivam, yeah, next slide.
No, actually, this is new for me. So I can now send an SMS or make a call even without opening the high level app or the lead connector app.
So when you click on send SMS, it will take you to the send SMS modal inside the app directly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So block calendars are, we are doing a complete revamp of appointments. There is a couple of UI enhancements and usability enhancements in appointments, but the highlight is block calendar. So you must have used block calendars on the web. That is rolling out anytime soon in the mobile. We are almost done with the development. It should be in beta in like 2 weeks time. So all the items that we listed in coming up should be in beta in 2 weeks timeline. Yeah. So we launched this into the high level apps. So just an overview now in memberships, you can add courses and do an upsell from the My Library page itself. Like when the course taker gets into his particular environment, when he moves to My Library, he will be able to see locked courses, which will be highlighted as a lock with a lock icon, the price associated with it. When you click it, you get to see the details and then you can purchase the additional course. So this gives the course creator a lot more ability to upsell actually courses once the user has already purchased one of the earlier courses. So this is in beta, not exactly in beta. This is in high level labs. You need to go and enable the feature from high level labs to start using it. But this will be live in like 3 or 4 days. So we have a countdown ticking on there. It should be 4 days when this whole thing is live, and yeah, do go and use this thing up.
And correct me if I'm not wrong, Nilashish, but in these locked courses, the promo image, the text description, basically the heading, all of this is customizable, and this
Yes.
works with all themes that we have for membership.
Yes, so it's compatible with all the themes. You can customize every bit of whatever you are seeing here. And even the page, the checkout page, which comes in when you click on enroll, even that can be customized. The in-house customizer that we have been using for all the themes is it's the same environment, it's the same experience that you will get when you want to customize the checkout pages.
Got it. And if people want to check this out, they need to go to location settings lab.
Yep, that's correct.
Cool.
Yeah, so this is what we are working on right now. I'll take a few more minutes here. So this needs some details. So what we are working on is comments. This has been the most voted feature on Canny. So for all the feature requests that are coming in, again, I'll highly recommend go put them on Canny. We are actually strongly following the Canny request and trying to put it in our roadmap. So this is one of those items wherein people were asking for comments and we are doing it. Talking about this feature, this feature will let you moderate comments at the course level, at the lesson level. This will add you to do things like make a comment public, make a comment private to just the course creator and the commenter, actually the course taker. It will allow you to enable comments, disable comments, or hide comments at the lesson level. And when someone comments, you can actually go back and reply and do things, all the things like that. So this is just the MVP of what we have in right now, which is rolling out. Soon this will, Shivam, just a few more minutes, yeah. So soon this will extend to community. So we are trying out the direction that we want to go, which is community, but this is coming out very soon for all of you. And all the, again, this is applicable to all the themes like New York, new, and everything is coming up. Like this compatibility is checked for all the themes that you are using currently. Also, the new themes that will be coming up shortly will have these kind of elements compatible. So thanks.
Awesome.
It.
Thanks, Nilashish. And coming back to SaaS mode, so we are making a few enhancements in SaaS mode. So first thing, there was always a problem that, whenever you change something directly in your Stripe account, if you change the product name or if you change the price or something directly in your Stripe, it was not syncing back to the high-level SaaS configurator. So now what happens is when you hit the save button on your SaaS configurator, we sync everything with Stripe, which gives you a two-way compatibility. So that should fix a lot of usability issues that our pro users were facing. The second thing is for new people who, like new agencies who are starting their SaaS journey, when they created these products, they did not have like a simple summary of, hey, which product just got created and what am I supposed to do with them. So we added this pop-up, which actually just summarizes the plans that you have created. And it has a help link down below to take you to like, how can you use them in your funnels? How can you sell directly? All of that stuff. And it allows you to basically just copy everything, keep it in your notes, and just remember them for future. Next thing that we did for SaaS mode, this is a request that, hey, I had a client in SaaS, they have stopped paying me. Maybe they have become a regular client of mine and now they are only paying for services. So how do I disable SaaS on it? Maybe they want to use their own Twilio. I don't want to turn on the rebilling because they will be using their own Twilio or Mailgun accounts, stuff like that. In all of these cases, you have the ability to disable SaaS mode, and that would just take care of everything. So there is a flow, there is a small checklist that you need to take care of. Only agency admins can take this action. And yeah, like you just do the double confirmation and that's how SaaS gets disabled. It typically takes about 5 to 10 minutes to disable SaaS on a location. So when you do it, feel free to navigate away, continue your work. And whenever this is done, we'll send you an email saying that so-and-so client, this location is no longer in SaaS. This was the wallet balance before we disabled SaaS and all of the transactions and everything. So there will be a summary in that email. So it just allows you for better auditing and better record keeping. So this is how the email looks like when you disable SaaS. Now, the final leg of my team, we are now talking about WordPress. So we got a feedback from our community that the first step in their WordPress journey was pointing domains, which doesn't make a lot of sense because people don't want to point their domain directly even before the website is set up, or they want to get a taste for the website, or if they are doing a migration, they want to test if everything is all right. And if they are convinced, they would want to point their domains back to the new website that they created. So we have flipped the entire flow. We just ask for your site name, username, password, that's it. This is how the website gets created. It takes roughly 5 to 10 minutes to provision a WordPress instance. So we brought down that time from about 30 minutes to 5 to 10 minutes. So it's much faster. Once your site is provisioned, that's when you will see the screen. You would see over here, like even though it says product.go high level because I was testing, we will actually issue you a temporary domain. It would look something like your location id.stagingsite.io. And that is your default domain. So you can build your site, you can do all your tests, and when you are 100% convinced, you just have to add your domain. So it simplifies the process of using WordPress in high level. We also brought in user management. So this happened in a bunch of cases where, hey, I just got logged out of my WordPress. How do I gain the access back? My designer removed my user by mistake. What can I do? So now there is a two-way sync between high level and the WordPress instance. So you add a user from WordPress, it shows up in high level. You add or remove a user from high level, it reflects inside WordPress. So just a tighter integration between both the modules. And now, Nasa, if you want to take over from here.
Yes, I'll take over the screen. Shivam, can you allow me to share the screen?
Sure, I'll just stop myself.
Okay. Hey everyone, hope all of you are doing great. My name is Prashant Mittal and I'm the product manager for payments and invoices at high level. So agenda for me coming here is basically 2 points. Firstly, I want to walk you through the recurring invoices feature that we have developed lately. And secondly, I have an announcement that might be of interest to you. So I'll just share my screen, and before sharing screen, even to set the context. So recurring invoices feature basically like for those who like to set the context for everyone, recurring invoices allows us to send invoices to the customer at a scheduled predefined frequency. So you can send automatic invoices to your customers on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on the first of every month, on the first Monday of every week, or something like that. So I'll just walk you through how to actually what we have built as of now, and then I'll keep you posted on the announcement. Okay. So are you able to see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So this is the current invoices page that all of you might be seeing as of now. So this lists all of the invoices that you have in place, the option to create a new recurring new invoice. So here only now with the addition of recurring invoices, we will have the drop down here in the invoices page, which says all invoices and recurring templates. And as well, if you click to create a new invoice here, basically you will be shown two options. One is to create a new invoice, which is basically a one-time invoice. And one is to create a new recurring template, which basically allows you to send out automatic invoices to your customers. So this is available both in the all invoices page as well as in the recurring templates. So let's say I come on to the recurring templates page. So as of now, I don't have any recurring invoice created. So it just nudges me to create a new recurring template. Let's say I click to create a new invoice. It asks me whether I want to create a new invoice or a one-time recurring template. Let's say I click to create a recurring template. It takes me inside to the builder. So the builder has basically two sections. First is the frequency settings, and the second is the recurring template. So the recurring template is basically the invoice which is actually sent out to the customer. So the customer will be seeing this invoice which is sent, and the first section, frequency settings, allows you to define that when do you want to send out this invoice to your customer. So let's get started with the frequency settings. Let's say it is asking us how often. So let's say you want to send out the invoice on a monthly basis. Let's say you want to send an invoice on the first of every month to your customers. So you'll select you want to send out the invoice on a monthly basis. Okay, I want to send it on the date. The date is first, and I want to send it for every 1 month. And I have to start it right from today, and I have to, let's say, never end this invoice. I don't want to end this invoice. They should keep on going. So I'll set on the invoice frequency. And as you can see here, this shows that first invoice will be due on August 1st, and it will be sent on August 1st. Let's say I want to inform my customer 2 days prior so that he pays in time, or he or she pays in time. So I can just say that, okay, send this invoice 2 days in advance, and you can see that it is being sent on 30th July, but it is due on August 1st. It might also be the case that you charge on a different frequency. Maybe you don't want to charge on the first of every month. You want to charge on the first Monday of every month. So I'll just select, you want to send out the invoice monthly on first Monday of every 1 month, of every 2 months, whatever is your use case. You can define, it can also be the last Monday. And if you have a frequency of, let's say you charge a client on a bi-weekly basis, then maybe you can select you want to send out invoices weekly on Monday of every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 1 week, whatever is your use case. So in the end option, so as of now, like we have selected this never option, but you can specify, let's say you want to end this recurring invoice after the end of this year. So December 31st would be the last date when you would be sending out this invoice. So you can limit it by the end date, that is 31st December. I don't want to send any invoices after this year. And also you can limit the number of invoices sent by the number of occurrences, like how many invoices do you need to send out. Let's say you want only 5 invoices to be sent out, and the process needs to stop after that. So you just select here 5 occurrences, so it will end after 5 occurrences. So these are the kind of frequency settings that we offer here. So you can, the template experience remains similar. You can add the client, you can add an item. Okay. I'll just go back. Okay, product is not added here. I was in a different location. I'm sorry for that. Okay, so we are again in the recurring templates. Like we see the list here, but let's say we create a new recurring template from scratch. I want to send it monthly on the first Monday of every 1 month. The start date is today, and I won't want to end it never. I want to inform the customer 2 days prior. I want to add the client. You can add the client in a similar manner. You can select which product you want to add. You can add both one-time and recurring products here. So, okay, I select the product, I save it. I can add taxes. Let's say I have service tax. I can add taxes. I can add discounts, whatever is the discount I want to offer. You can add it, and after you have set the frequency settings and the client information, you can hit on schedule, and this will give you the option of like, as it is the one-time experience, this is the email ID on which the customer would be informed. This is the phone number on which he would be informed, and whether you want to set the payment mode as test or live. So let's say I create it in test mode and I schedule this invoice. So here I can see this invoice is scheduled. So this is where I was coming next to this. So as of now, you can see, like, previously there was no invoice created, but after you start creating invoices, all of the recurring templates that you create will show up here. So there are different states of these recurring templates. This is scheduled, this is completed, this is in draft mode. The completed means all of the child invoices have been sent. Now, let's say there is an invoice scheduled, but you don't want it to send any more invoices. You can simply end that recurring template. So I click on actions, I click to end. It asks me, are you sure you want to end this invoice? I say, yes, I want to end this invoice, and this has been canceled now. You can also go inside the recurring template builder only, and here also you have an option to end the recurring invoice. So like, you can select here end recurring template. It will ask you again the same question, do you want to end it? Like, whatever invoices are sent, so this is the all invoice view that I have. So whatever invoices are sent, they will be visible here with a recurring tag. So whatever child invoices, let's say the first invoice is sent on August 1st, so it will be shown up here on August 1st and with a recurring tag. But whereas the usual one-time invoices that you create won't have any tag, like this does not have any tag, that this means that this is a one-time invoice. So you can, now let's say you see this invoice, this is a recurring invoice, and you want to know from which parent invoice or which recurring template this invoice was created. You can click on actions, you can view the recurring template, and you will be landed over to the recurring template builder, where you can see that what frequency did you set here, which was the client, how much discount or taxes did you add, so that you get a direct insight of where it is coming from, basically. So yes, this is basically, and in the recurring templates as well as in the one-time invoices, we have the submit feedback option here. You can, while using it, you can submit the feedback directly, and we'll take into account of whatever the gap needs to be fixed here or whatever issue you are facing. So majorly on these lines, and now comes the time for announcement. So basically, we have published it in beta today only, recurring invoices. So now you can head over to beta.highlevel.com. You go to beta and you will be able to see invoices here. Let's say I go to any location. Okay, this is beta.go high level. Okay, now the location has loaded. If I go to payments, I see both the drop down in invoices. It comes with recurring templates or all invoices. I can select recurring templates, and boom, you are ready to go for creating recurring invoices. So yes, and the remaining settings remain the same. Like, you can define the terms and notes here. You have the settings option, you have the submit feedback option. So you can jump in whatever the feedback is from your end, and we'll definitely take it up. So yes, that's the update from mine. Thanks, everyone. You can post down the, yes, thanks a lot. You can post down the questions if you have any. I'll try to answer all of them.
Awesome, thank you. Do we have any more updates?
No, that's it.
Wonderful. Really exciting stuff that is coming along. And now we're going to jump into the Q&A, guys. So if you have any questions, please post them in the chat and we will try our best to go through all of them. The first one is going to be from Danny, and he's asking, are there any plans to change how the calendar respects the buffer in appointments not booked in the system? It doesn't now.
Yeah, so we have that as an item on our list. We haven't queued it up yet, but it's one of the items that we are contemplating around, because there are a lot of other calendar systems we integrate with. So yeah, we just need to make a decision there, but it is on my list. We'll get to it shortly.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Danny. Next question is from Hervin, and he's asking, when is WhatsApp coming?
So I'll take that question. So with WhatsApp, we implemented everything with Twilio. I mean, I'll answer the question first. I think it'll still take us a few months to get it live. So we built everything on a stack that Twilio had, and then there were changes in their pricing infrastructure and all of that. We tried adapting to it, and then Meta directly opened up their cloud APIs, which means now we can directly go to Facebook and we don't need to look for a partner, which is going to be more cost-effective and more reliable for all of our agencies. So as much as it sucks not to release it on time, but we just thought that overall the benefit to the community would be better if we go directly with Facebook. So yes, we are changing the entire implementation now, and that's the reason for the delay.
Thanks, Siobhan, for the clarification. There's two more parts to his question, and they are, will it ever be possible to clone a workflow to other accounts without having to import a snapshot? And then the third part is, when will we be able to edit the white label app?
Cloning of workflows, yes, it's on our list. We just have some important items before we get to that, but we will have that in this year.
And Neelashish could probably
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah, so the white label app, by end of Q3, you will be we will start rolling out features which will allow you to edit the white label app, edit in terms of like the bottom navigation placements, the left menu sidebar, and enable or disable features. Also a few more set of customizations that are coming in, like the color palette of your white label app will have more options. You can choose from 20 different colors, and you can add a splash screen and things like that. More
Neelashish,
editing.
do you have any visuals on that, by the way?
The visuals.
Do you have any
should be-
designs or anything?
Yeah, I have it. I'll just pull that up. Just give me a
Just-
moment.
Yeah, it's easier to see than imagine.
Yeah, I'll just pull that up. I should be handy
And
somewhere.
that's okay. We can go to the next question. We'll give him a minute.
Okay, cool. Next one is from James. He's asking, can we please get a workflow trigger for Twilio 30,006 error codes?
And I think, James, we also connected over email, right? Regarding the similar issue, if I'm not wrong.
Not recently.
Okay, got it. So for the 3006 error codes, like what action are you looking to perform? If we build a workflow trigger like that, so what action will you take on your side?
Yeah, so basically I have an automation that's going out to send a text message, and I'm not getting any notification that it's failing until I actually go into the contact record and see the little unsuccessful icon, and I hover over it and it says 3006. So you already have a bunch of Twilio. For whatever reason, there's SMS not working or whatever, incapable. There's a trigger for workflows for that, but for whatever reason, the 3006 error code is not triggering that. And if I could, then I would raise an alert, raise a text message internally, and say, hey, this text didn't even go out. Let's try a manual action.
So 30,006 basically means it's a landline, or if the carrier doesn't support SMS.
Right. So they're saying, okay, cool. I'm going to pick up the phone and call now.
Yeah. Got it. I mean, the way we are solving for this in the ISP is because, see, let's say if you send like 10,000 texts, out of those, like 200, 300 are going to end up in a 30,006. Like that's what happens. do you really want to get like an email notification or an SMS notification
You
yourself?
have to give this workflow trigger, and you're going to have to let people hurt themselves like this, and then they can decide. Oh no, we got 200 notifications because we have 200 bad numbers. I mean, that's all. Maybe they want to D&D them. Maybe they want to remove them from the list. Who cares?
Right. And in my use case, it was for missed call text back.
Yeah. And I want to, and this is the kind of thing where if you don't give it to them, they're never gonna let James get 200 notifications. I love that day. I can't wait for his Facebook post. I got 200 notifications. How do I make it stop? But
I mean,
I'll disable the trigger.
I mean, the only thing is there are like 200 different error codes that can be monitored on
Yeah,
Twilio.
but what we need to do is be wise and just group these, right? So there's 3006 and 3007. Just fail. Some kind of fail. I mean, I got this yesterday on Slack. Someone's like, well, I need to get more information on 30,007 or whatever. It's like carrier block. It's like, there is no more information actually. Verizon's not going to tell you why they blocked your text. Sorry, not our fault, not their fault. I mean, it is their fault. Not our fault, not Twilio's fault. Nothing to do. Like, sorry, you got blocked. But I think people still want to know that. Because again, if they got blocked, worst case scenario, maybe they do want to make 200 phone calls. They can do it. Let's let them do it. But I think we should group these wisely.
Yeah.
And we can just give people, and what I would do is, I think we should expose the individual error codes. I think we should create a help article that's really detailed about this, just so that we can avoid all the support questions. Because if I was sending a text and it didn't get delivered, and I didn't know all the background about Twilio, I'm going to wonder, right? So we might as well give people just copious amounts of detail here. But even if that copious amount of detail ultimately just winds up where it's like, there's not much you can do except pick up the phone and probably call. Until they block your calls first, but that's then we can have.
And you might change the action you take on the error, right? If it's a one-time error, you may just say, all right, maybe we'll go through next time. But if it's a,
the strong reality here though is there is no one time, like these error codes are spotty at best.
Right.
So is it really a landline? Who knows? Twilio doesn't know either. They're just doing like, and it's not a Twilio issue. It's a bandwidth.com issue. It's a pick your provider issue. This is what the carriers are giving us. This is the best we can do given the situation. But again, I think that we could give people a trigger and then they can decide what they want to do with it.
Cool.
Great.
Thank you.
I also connected with our help doc specialist. I sent him a message about getting a doc on all those error codes for you guys. So look for that in the near future. The next question is from Stephanie.
Hold on, let's jump back on Neelashish.
Perfect. Yeah.
Sorry for that. Yeah, I'll just share my screen and quickly run through what's happening. So if you check for high level app, like this is the standard high level app. It is coming out soon. The whole conversation experience is changing. So this is what the high level app will look like. And if you check for white label, this comes out to be a completely different experience with all the changes. So what you can customize is the colors, the fonts, and also what I was talking about in terms of editing, you can reorganize the bottom navigation items here, like people with opportunities can come up here, invoicing can come up here rather than having these standard items. In terms of colors, so we will be allowing you to choose colors from any of these color palettes, like the whole set of colors that you see here. On the top of that, you can also choose the dark color set. So it's not just limited to the light theme that we have now. You will be choosing your own set of light colors. You will be choosing your own set of dark colors. And we would start respecting all the colors when you see your, like, this would be the white label experience after you have selected everything. And also in terms of editing capabilities, the two most requested things are the bottom navigation items and enabling or disabling features. If there is anything else that you are missing, I'll just put my link, like my appointment link in the chat. We can definitely get on a call and take it forward. Does that answer your question?
Are you here, Hervin?
Yeah, no, that did answer the question. That made sense. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And my question had another section to it there for James. If I'm in a contact detailed record already can clicking on the contacts on the left menu take me back to the contacts overview page? Right now it does nothing.
Oh yeah, I have that noted on my, I mean, I have that, we have that as part of our list of items to do.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
The next question is from Stephanie. Is there a way to customize the thank you message that is sent when an invoice is paid?
Yes. So what do we, Prashant? Yeah, Prashant, go ahead.
Yes. We recently introduced the trigger for invoice in automations. So now you can use invoice status as paid or sent, and you can customize the emails that are sent according to those triggers. So when
And
an invoice
they won't both send, right? The automatic one and the workflow one, they won't both send at the same time, correct?
Sorry, I didn't get this one.
So because there's that automatic one, if we were to create a workflow for it, would that send both of them or just the workflow one then?
Okay, so as of now, by default, we are sending out the default notification to the user who has paid the invoice. So if you create a workflow automation and if you create there is this default notification, so both of them would be sent as of now. But yes, this is a good idea. Like in the future, actually, we have in pipeline to customize all of the emails that we send out actually. But that might come at a later stage because we need to have some proper planning for that. But
so right now we should just leave it to the default because otherwise they would both send, which would be annoying right now to clients. So we don't want to do that. But thank you. That cleared that up. Thanks.
Okay. Yes.
So Stephanie, just to give you an idea, what we are thinking is that in the invoice settings page, we will be giving options to choose the email template that you want to send out whenever.
Like memberships?
Yeah. So you will be able to choose the email template. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was hoping for. Thank you.
Yes. So we do have that in the plan. As Prashant said, since we have a few other things that we have to get done. So we are leaving it at that for now. But then definitely we are going to give an option in the settings page, let you choose what should be the thank you email template that we should trigger whenever an invoice is paid. And the system default template will not go out at that time.
Gotcha.
So that's the ideal solution for this.
Cool. Thank you. Sounds good to me.
Great.
Awesome. Next question is from James. You have a lot of prospective buyers in the public Facebook group. Could we get a Slack instance for users / power users and bug reports, etc.? They don't want that in the developer council Slack instance.
No.
The law has spoken.
Thank you so much.
No, I do not want to open a Slack channel and yet another support channel that we can't monitor. And for the record, Facebook's not for support. Please, for everybody on this call, never post anything like, is this not working? Don't post that. Help, this isn't doing da-da-da-da. Don't post that. Use support. Zoom, and the little in the top right-hand corner, support question mark. I know it takes longer sometimes, but here's the biggest reason why. You cannot track Facebook, cannot track Slack. No clue that that's even in there unless someone randomly comes across it. And what's worse is, I will tell you a big percentage of the time, it's user error. And that post just sits there. I have had people tell me, I'm not so sure about high level because I saw a bunch of people posting issues in the Facebook group and I want to just punch the screen because I'm like, I know that issue. I jumped on a call with that person. They told me to close the ticket this morning because they just messed up and had sticky contact enabled. And I'm like, ugh. So please, please, please use Facebook for anything other than support.
So Sean, what you're saying is don't use Facebook for support, right?
Yes, exactly. As I'm certain it even says in the rules of the group. I haven't quite told Jahis, our full-time community manager, to start kicking people out for posting support questions, but I swear someday we might get there. Support question, boom, you're kicked out.
I was just a little confused. I didn't,
sometimes I can be very unclear, Steve. I'm aware. I'm an opaque sort of, weird guy. He's like, what did he say? It's a puzzle. I don't get it. Yeah. So in general, I get the whole power user bit and I respect it. And I try in general, by the way, when I hear from you to sort of think like, oh, wait, I've seen you for 4 years. You probably know what you're talking about, but still same deal. Go through support. And
Awesome.
support, oh, by the way, for the record, I am always willing to hear from anybody, but here's what I want to hear. I tried to support team, they failed me. Here's what's up. I love those because then it's like, what the heck, guys? And I can kind of go over it. We can improve and learn. And we do that all the time, but just try that route first. And I appreciate that you take that time. And I know it does take some time.
Thanks, James, for the question. Next one we have is from Mary Sue. Appreciate an explanation of templates versus campaigns. My understanding is that templates are a starting point and campaigns is the email sent to contacts. However, workflows and bulk actions only use templates.
This was confusing to me as well. I just wanted to throw out, a lot of clients are confused over old campaigns versus new campaigns and what does what. And I'm sure you anticipated that. So,
well, first, what we tried to do, so first we came out with our own system, and then we just went and did what everybody else does. My explanation, I'll let some smarter person jump in, is that the big thing was templates. You can create a template and you can use it in multiple campaigns, and then you can see the performance of those campaigns. And the difference, right, is a campaign can be sent to different audiences at different times of day, you know, like that sort of thing. And so you really want to break down, like, what was the performance of that send versus just saying that content, because it's more than just the content. And this is actually how every other email system does it. MailChimp does it this way. I mean, ActiveCampaign does it this way. Everybody does it this way. So we just sort of like went to the way everybody else did it. And then if anybody smarter on my team wants to jump in and explain it, that's how I understand it.
Trying to explain that correctly.
So did I get it right, Pooja?
Yeah, you are exactly right. That's the main point. Yeah.
Pooja, for the record, tried to explain this to me. It took her 6 or 7 tries, but I got it slowly eventually. So yeah, I get it's confusing because now it's like 2 things, but just for the record, there's a help doc on this, and there is a good reason for it, which is really the statistics.
I think moving forward, it'll be a lot easier for people that are just starting. I think it's just people that already have it in there are like, wait, why is there double of everything? But it definitely makes more sense moving forward.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's we kind of sort of knew we were going to traipse into this issue, but we were getting hit on the other side of like, why the heck do you fools not do it like this? You're messing.
There's always something.
Well, I still don't understand why in workflows and bulk actions. I understand what you're saying, where the campaign is where you're seeing statistics on the send, but in workflows and bulk actions, that totally breaks that reasoning because it's pulling the template.
I don't know. Does it? Somebody smarter. Go.
Yep. So workflow pulls up the templates. The only reason that we pull up like templates right now is the reason that, you know, soon we'll be allowing those kind of capabilities where you can edit that particular template to match, like, you know, to send it out to your crowd in workflows. But ideally, that was the goal, that, you know, templates is something that's like reusable component for you that you don't want to keep on changing like at a very go send. It's something that, you know, reserved to your brand that you want to create and then just like, you know, forget about it. And campaigns are something like, you know, you want to go on and like, you know, keep on changing, meeting your like, you know, needs. Like if it's winter time and you want to send it out like, you know, for Black Friday or any of the Christmas part, like you'll be keep on changing those kind of templates. Like you'll not keep like, you know, one consistent template for that particular campaign. So that was the main idea that. Yeah.
So the storyline is you're going to be able to edit the template within the workflow.
So yep. So storyline is like, you know, our end goal is like every place wherever, you know, there are anywhere like emails getting used. The idea is like, you know, people should be able to edit that email over there with email builder, not like, you know, they don't need to visit like email builder and create things out and change things out. So that is like the long-term plan that we want to do. So now if there is someone using in workflows a particular template, then we'll allow them to open like email builder, which they can edit according to the needs, like, you know, relating that's getting sent in workflow. So that's like the long plan that we are targeting. And our first step towards that was like, you know, allowing people to use templates inside workflow and not the campaigns. Yeah.
Thank you.
So is that going to be like a global edit, like the email builder pops up within the workflow builder, or is that going to be like different where you have to then go and edit all of those little places? I feel like that'd be, if I'm understanding right. I just want to clarify.
So it will be more like a global sort of thing. Like you
Good.
just open that out
God.
and it will just open like the email builder over there. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
What about just changing the names of how, the conventions? Because you use this word templates and it's two different areas that they're out there. So, maybe one's like a canned, maybe inside a workflow, it's like a canned message, right? Versus like a template when you build out a whole email campaign template, kind of a thing. Just to make it more simple for people, conceptually speaking,
Yep. So regarding in presence of two templates, that's already something that we have already thought of. We are going to bring in a new editor that will help us achieve what is there right now inside the templates area, and we'll rename that as SMS templates. And the email templates will move towards where we have right now what the templates of email builder are kept. So that and those email templates that you're using, which are your text as in simple email templates, canned messages that are you using, you'll start seeing them over there with the new editor of text, which is much better than what you're using right now in the template area, as in the templates that's placed beside email. So
Yeah,
that is the bigger plan which we are going towards.
Yeah, just conceptually, as long as there's some way to separate them, so you kind of understand. Because someone who's newer in the system is going to get really confused, I think, with that. Well, I mean, over time we all learn our lessons, but
Done. So we'll definitely take that up internally, and yeah, for sure. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Next question is from Stephanie. Would it be possible to toggle PayPal on/off for each funnel/site?
Yeah, basically that's just I feel pretty straightforward, but there's clients that want to use PayPal on certain funnels or certain products rather than the entire account. And right now it just turns it on entirely or not, which is great. But is there any plan in the future to be able to really customize that?
That's something which is new for us. Can we take this up on the ideas board, Stephanie? If a lot of users actually requested, then maybe we can take this up.
Yeah,
because
I'll throw it on there.
Yes, because currently I agreed that it is not there, but maybe this might be a use case for a lot of users.
Okay.
Did I answer your question correctly?
Yes, I will throw it on the idea board. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
The next question's from Patrick. As agency admins, are we going to be able to toggle on or off to either show or not WordPress in the menu? Maybe have an option to choose, either display it or no or not in the launch pad.
So right now, I mean, if you go to the view details section and if you toggle WordPress off, there is a toggle for WordPress visibility. When you toggle it off, that location will not see it anywhere, not in the left menu.
I'm aware of the turn it off the location level, but if we create a new account and they have the launchpad displayed, they can go back and look at that.
Even on the launchpad, if they create a new account and, okay, you are saying if you add a new location and you haven't had the time to disable it yet,
yeah,
in the interim, okay, got it.
And if you look at the launchpad, that display of download the app, etc., it's there. I love WordPress, but we're not prepared. We're not ready to support that, and it would be great to have the ability on the launchpad instead of turning it off completely. It would be nice to have a check mark. I want to display this option versus that option or not.
Okay, I need a timeline of when you're going to be ready to support it. If it's a great idea, I want to know a date. Shivan, write it down. You're going to follow up with this guy and say, all right, Patrick, today's your day. You're supporting him. Because see, here's what I love about good ideas. Good ideas are good ideas. It's like gravity. So, waiting to the day that you wake up and you're ready. If I did that, people would never be ready for anything.
No, I'm not talking about that, Sean, sir. Go High Level is only one product of what we offer in our company. So that's not what I intend to do. So, but it would be great, sir.
All right, Shivam.
Yeah, I have made a note of it. We can definitely work something out here.
We appreciate the input, Patrick. Next question's from Michael or Michelle. I apologize. Is there an agency accreditation program? Accreditation, sorry. Program/partner program for GHL experts? Maybe a test/systemized way of building snapshots/products that is GHL approved that would bring consistency to how people onboard agencies into Go High Level?
So we will eventually have this, but I do know in the meantime that someone on this call named Melissa Blair does have something already kind of started. So if I can neither vouch for its quality either way, but I can vouch for the fact that Melissa is highly quality and a lovely person. So I suspect anything she touches will have her that same quality. So she can post her link in the chat if you're interested, but it's not.
Oh, I do that kind of work myself. So I was just curious if you guys had, if that was something coming down. Yeah.
Cool. Oh yeah, it's coming, but probably not until at least fourth quarter. And again, what I think is actually super awesome about our customer base, quite frankly, is the diversity. So whatever we come up with will not be the end all be all of everything. Everyone has a different take on it. And this is what creates strength in what we do. It's not like we just sit here and preach from on high. That's not our MO. We have a particular, we love to share and we want people to educate people, but I also, it's like when people say, hey, do you know a good coach? I'm like, yeah, I do. I know about 100 of them. That's why I never mention names, because I know a lot of really talented people. So yes, we will have our own official program, but no, it will not be any better or worse than anybody else's.
Cool, man. Thank you. Appreciate all you guys do.
Yes, sir.
The next question is from Stephanie. Is there any plans for converting forms to surveys?
Varun.
That's not NASA is Bharat here. Or can you take that?
Yeah, sure. So currently we don't have it in the plan, but definitely this is something that we can consider. So I will add it to the roadmap.
Awesome. Next question we have is from Pamela. Can we have a bit more information on the October event?
What type of information? It's going to be our amazing, awesome first time live event where we're going to go over how to basically do world domination. We're going to have the absolute best of the best speakers in the entire marketing universe on tap to talk to you.
Where will it be?
Dallas, Texas.
Well, yeah, I was wondering if it was the certification that you've been talking about, or if it was.
No, this is our global user conference. This is like everybody come on down.
Okay.
We're gonna announce a bunch of details very soon. So I'm gonna shut up so I don't get in too much trouble. But I'm telling you, it's gonna be pretty awesome. The keynote speakers are phenomenal, and what's great is this is really a community-driven event. So we're talking about. Well, we have an announcement to make about a very large marketing influencer person who is now promoting high level, who's going to be one of our keynote speakers, but almost everybody that's a keynote speaker is going to be people who are from our community at some level. So I'm pretty excited about it. So it's going to be a huge event.
Can I get the initials of the influencer?
What's like a cool, is Robin here?
Leak it, Sean. Leak it.
Well, it's gonna go out soon. So I don't know. All I know is I knew this guy before I started high level, and he had this video on YouTube where he would like say, "Come on in my office," and he's in San Diego. Something.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Got it.
Can I just ask, Sean, for those that cannot make it in person, will that be an option to, stream, like watch through whatever's doing?
This is the fun part about this event. I have no idea. I'm not doing any of the hard work at all. I'm just going to show up. I don't even know if I'm speaking. I don't know if I have a ticket, actually. I don't know if they'll let me in the building, but I don't know. But I hope so.
Sean, do we even know dates on this thing? Is that going to be released?
It's October, late October. Come on. Does somebody else know these things besides me? Feel free to pipe in. Come on.
In person or virtual?
The last week of October.
Sorry. That one I knew. Sorry, Varun. Yep.
I said it's the last week of October, but.
There we go. See? Last week of October. Mark your calendars. Be ready. It's going to be pretty awesome, actually.
Oh, is that the different to the retreat that's in August?
What August retreat? I don't even know about that.
Yeah, that's different. That was a
SaaSpreneur event.
Yeah.
Yeah, that got canceled, I think.
No, it's the Height Digital one.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. This is our event. This is the official high level event. This isn't anybody else's event. This is our event. This is like 500 seats only, Dallas, Texas, big time event. This is like, oh, you know what this really is? This is like level up plus a lot more in person.
Is there a link, please?
No, because it's not hasn't been released yet. I'm just getting beat up on the phone call for details, and I'm just giving you what I got.
They're just they basically just say there's an event at the end of
There you
October.
go. At the end of October. There you go.
Yeah.
Steve, go to your calendars right now, drag across and say, I am not available. I am in Dallas, Texas this week. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know how it's all going to work out, but this time is blocked. That's all that matters. Start there.
And stay tuned for the updates.
Correct.
Awesome. Next one from Dawn is, when are the inbound answering phone system features scheduled for?
We are toying with a few ideas over here. We want to implement this on mobile app before
Hey,
we do it
Langdon,
for the
can
web
you
app.
please mute? There we go. Sorry.
Yeah, so we are toying with a few ideas. We want to implement this in the mobile app before we do it on the web. It's easier. It feels easier to do it on the mobile app. We have been running some call quality surveys. They look very positive. It looks like mobile apps are a very good way of calling. So inbound will come there first. Neelashi, have you started the product work on it? Is there any other info you want to give?
On the timelines, yeah, it is coming on the mobile first. Should be this quarter item, like a Q3 item. So let's see how it goes from there. So if that answers your question, mobile app will have inbound by end of this quarter, and if things go well, it will drip into the web app as well.
Awesome. Next question is from Clay. When will our clients be able to cancel/pause their account subscription?
I assume this is for SaaS, right? Your clients be able to manage SaaS themselves. So the first feature that we are building over here is upgrade. So I mean, there is cancellation, downgrade, upgrade, and maybe a subscription pause in some cases that only agency admins can do. So out of these 4 subscription management features, we have put upgrades on the list first because it was easier to build and there is less variability. So that will go out first. And then from there, gradually we'll take care of cancellation. And cancellations, again, there are 2 things, like either you as an agency owner can cancel. Do you want your clients to have the ability to cancel? That would be an option. And the third thing, if your clients don't pay, then something needs to happen in the system. So we'll figure out cancellations. And after that, pause and downgrades, we'll think about it.
Awesome. Thanks, Shivam. Next question is from Bill. The new email builder is amazing. I'm scoring 9.5s out of 10 on mailtester.com. All we need to be able to have is a perfect 10 spam score is built-in alt text on the built-in social media icons. Because they are not actual icons, they're images, so alt text is required. The way the system is built, even if a user chooses text only for the social media images, image attributes are still there, and so alt text is required. Bill Crane, are you here to elaborate? And
Oh, no, Pooja already knows the answer to this. Pooja for the win.
So we'll take this up in our current quarter that's coming up, and we'll fix this particular issue so that they'll be able to score better.
love it. Beautiful. Next question is from Stephanie. Are there any plans to allow for dragging and dropping custom menu links?
On where? On funnels?
She had to step out for a meeting. Custom menu links.
The thing on the left side in the
I'm
menu.
thinking the
you can add-
sidebar because we use a lot.
Yeah,
We add a lot of pieces to that.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to change the order?
Yeah, change the order. Because right
That-
now, wherever, when we add a new custom menu link, it just puts it wherever. And
But
I think she
But
wants
that
to.
is anyway a custom coding, right? I mean, if you're adding your own menu items, it's a custom coding, so you can just change the order the way you want it.
No, at the agency level, we have an option called custom menu links. So you can either iframe it or redirect it, and that snaps an option in the location left menu or in the agency left menu. But I don't think we can reorder it yet. But yeah, we can just note this down. Like maybe Shah, if you just want to take a note of this.
No, it's with the onboarding team, so I will.
Got it.
I'm taking it up.
Got it.
This one, Nasa, right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
We want to
exactly.
reorganize this.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Awesome. Next question we have is from Brian. When can we expect response rate stats for the SMS and workflows? This stat was available in campaigns, but no longer exists in workflows. We see this stat for email and workflows, but not for SMS.
I'm not sure where you see this in campaigns, but the only reason why we don't have it in workflows is because it's not possible for us to attribute the message to the, the response to the messages. So if you have like 3 consecutive SMS back-to-back actions in your workflows, and if someone has responded to one of them, we wouldn't know which one that message needs to be, the response needs to be attributed to. In emails, it's easy, but in SMS, it is not. So that's why we don't have it there.
Did we do that in campaigns today?
No, I think over here there is something coming out, Shanavas. I heard Nikunj talk about it. We should do what we're doing in campaigns, attribute it to the last one. Like just pick the last message.
Only the last one. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Cool.
Great.
Next
So
one is from, what's up, Brian?
Well, so it'll be possible then. We just got to attribute it to the last one. That would be great. Yeah, just
Right. I already started a thread in the workflow group, so I think Nikunj is on it.
cool. Thank you.
Next one is from Clay. I see review request system enhancements on the roadmap for roadmap plan for Q3. What will those enhancements look like?
So I'm looking at the roadmap for, Neelashish is looking for the roadmap of reputation management. We haven't prioritized it yet. I'm really sorry. We'll get that done in next couple of days. I'm not exactly aware what are the sub-items to the review request system enhancement, but maybe I can answer this in the next town hall once we have reprioritized the entire roadmap.
Awesome. Next one is from Michael. He's asking sub-accounts logos.
Are they not working?
No, he's.
I think it was during my
sending a very
presentation.
ambiguous, like codified message of saying, like, can we put logos of our clients in the sub accounts? And I know the answer to this one, which is no. And I personally have no. Just always the same answer, which is the ideas list rules all. So for the record, but in general, I counsel hardly against this. I don't want your clients every day to wake up and be like, look, it's my CRM. No, I want them to wake up every day and say, look, it's my agency CRM, the CRM that I got from this person. It creates a lot of like Salesforce.com or somebody does not let you kick their logo out the way. You know why? Because they want you to be reinforcing every day, like, this is Salesforce. We rule and own this data and provide this value to you every day. You're welcome. That is the same effect you want for yourself. So I highly advise against going down this road, because I think it will simply just lower your value to your client personally. But that's my own personal opinion. But again, ideas list rules all. So doesn't matter what I say, you vote it up and make it happen.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean. Next question's from Don. When will we have the FTP access and also have the ability to roll back or restore?
Oh, sorry. Just kidding.
Yeah, so rollback, backups, rollback, restore is a Q3 item. FTP access is a Q4 item.
Awesome. Next one is from Ben. Will it be possible to generate and send invoices automatically after a purchase has been completed?
I think I answered this one on chat, right, Ben?
Beautiful. Next one's from Melissa then. What are the benefits of using recurring invoicing versus Stripe subscription?
Good question.
So Prashant, do you want to take it?
I have a few things in my mind. Like basically what I can think of is a subscription in Stripe is basically if a customer makes a purchase and you automatically have to deduct that money from their account. Whereas in recurring invoices, you can send an invoice at a fixed frequency for the services that you are taking up during that period. So the client has the option to pay or not pay. That is what I have.
No, essentially, I mean, there are other advantages of using recurring invoices with high level, because you will be able to integrate with workflows. So you can run the automations, you can notify yourself or send thank you messages, or when the payment is overdue, that, right? But in Stripe, it's a different system, and you have to integrate with that, maybe build some webhooks and alert yourself and things like that. So you will be, I mean, if you're using high level recurring invoices, you will be able to leverage the infrastructure that we have built in here itself. So with email builders, you can configure those templates, like for Melissa's question, in future, we will be letting you configure your own thank you messages. So that way you are leveraging the assets built in email builder, and you are integrating with CRM. So you will have all the invoices that are paid through high level on the contact object. So that is also in our roadmap. And of course, use of automations through the integrations. And also, I mean, over time, once we gather a lot of data, we will be able to report on it when the data is available with us. So that way, you will be building your own marketing automation operating system with us. So that's, I mean, you just get to leverage the power of high level infrastructure. And also on top of it, we have the global products. So essentially, I mean, later on, we will be able to run automation workflow triggers based on the purchase of certain product IDs. So that way, when you're charging your clients for a global product, high level global product via invoices, you will be able to alert yourself on that. So there are like a bunch of advantages in using high level recurring invoices. So, and it's coming to you free, so why not?
Oh, and also from a business operation standpoint, you have customers that they want to manage their accounts payable, so they don't want the payments coming out automatically from a subscription payment, and therefore you invoice them to pay you that way, just depending on how your customer operates their accounting.
Having run a very invoice reminder related SaaS company prior to this, the other thing is it's just common information exchange. Even if you automatically pay an invoice, for example, it's just the simple fact that if I'm we do have a very accomplished CFO on the phone here as well, but in general, like if I am paying bills or I want to look at bills paid, invoices are the are the communication standard by which that's done. Right. Otherwise, subscriptions are almost always done on a credit card, and then you get the credit card statement, and then you have to look at all the individual charges, and that it just creates a lot of process. Big companies are like, no, you're not getting my, you're not getting my credit card number at ExxonMobil. You're sending me an invoice in my payables department, even if it's automatic. I'm getting an invoice, or we're not doing business together. Right. That's invoices are kind of like the big time concept generally.
Should there be a point in which they can choose between paying credit card or ACH?
Well, that might be something they allow as a payment. That's a payment method. And that payment method could also be part of a subscription or an invoice, right? So the answer is yes, but just so you know, that would apply actually in both cases. It doesn't dictate the outcome.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but that's a good question. So.
Brian has a question. Would it be possible to limit the workflow list under manual actions to only include workflows that have manual actions built in them?
Yeah, there are some technical limitations with that. Workflow, as it stands today, is a separate app. So we have that on our list, and it will be a while before we get to that. So yeah, but we definitely want to do that. So we'll try and get to it as quickly as we can.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
The next question is from Hervin. Will it be possible to give one account permissions at the location level instead of global? For example, a VA who has access to the dashboards of the clients, but not the agency.
Hervin, would you like to come off mute?
What's the question?
The question is, will it be possible to give one account permissions at the location level instead of global level? For example, a VA who has access to the dashboards of the clients, but not the agency.
I mean, account admin or account user could do it, right? Like they won't be able to see any agency stuff, but they will be able to see the location dashboard, all the leads and everything, automations, whatever.
Shivam, I think
it's something else. Erwin is pretty seasoned.
Yeah.
So the permissions right now, like if I disable it for a user, it gets disabled for all the locations, right? So this came out in one of the calls I was in. They want the user permissions to be attached to both the user plus the location. So I want Shivam to access invoicing in location A, but not in location B.
Okay. There's a second part to his question, if you guys could answer it. Will it be possible to give people access to create workflows without giving them access to all the workflows?
Yeah, we have a project that will precisely help people do that. That's going to come out next quarter or like towards the end of this quarter. So yeah, we'll definitely get that up.
Awesome. Thanks, Shah. The next question's from Chris. I've looked, but I can't find this. Is e-signing on the roadmap, like PandaDoc, where you can send a contract to multiple contacts to sign the same document?
Yes, it is in the roadmap. So we are going to start our product work probably in a month or maybe 1.5 months. So Q4 will be a reasonable time to expect this.
Beautiful, beautiful. Next one is from Melissa. We just got an email from a client who is saying a bunch of her audience show as D&D, but she just knows they shouldn't be. What could be the reason for that?
Could you shoot me an email? I'm just dropping my email here and I can run that down for you.
Thanks, Shah. Next question is from Chris. Is there a way to get into the beta for the ISV after signing up, or do we just have to wait? Could someone follow up after this to confirm my agency is on the list?
So I already replied to Chris, but general information for everyone. So right now we have about 1,300 agencies waiting for ISV beta access. We are gradually rolling it out. It's just that, we want to be conservative and we gradually let people in and more people sign up in the same duration. So we are always catching up. So that's one of the things. By the end of next month, so by the end of August, we have set our internal target that all the beta requesters should have access, and hopefully we'll meet it. But just don't hold me to this deadline. It might be plus minus 15 days, but that's what we are trying.
Awesome. Thanks, Shivam. Next question is from Gus. On the app update, will the app be limiting to only show the pipelines that are only their data? As of right now, anyone can see all pipelines, even though they cannot see their data on the pipeline. They still see all the pipelines. By seeing all the pipelines, this can cause confusion.
Does that make sense?
It did. So I think what you're saying is if a user does not have any leads in a particular pipeline, don't even show them that pipeline.
100%. We went over this, I swear, about a year ago by now. And it makes sense to everybody because, if you draw out the pipelines, you could have 10 pipelines, but if there's somebody out driving around dropping stuff off, they only need one pipeline. Even though the pipelines are empty, they still have to scroll through them on the app.
Got it. And is this how it works on web? Like, we'll check that internally. I think we had a brief discussion about this, Nilashish and me. And our only thing was, so let's say I have a sales pipeline and then I have some onboarding pipeline. And let's say I'm a new salesperson. I don't have any leads in the onboarding pipeline, but I need to move this person from sales to onboarding. So if I don't even see the pipeline, won't that be confusing for me?
Like how would I drag and drop to an empty pipeline if it's not there?
So that was the problem. And that's why we were like, okay, let's not touch it. Let's keep it the way it works today. But that was the only risk. And that's why we did not spend a lot of time on it.
Well,
but again, we can use.
If you drag it from one part of the pipeline to another part of that pipeline, there can be an action set up that will trigger to go to another pipeline, where then they they will instantly have access to that pipeline. Make sense? I mean, they can drag it right down from left to right, bam, 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 bam. As soon as it hits pipeline section 3, it jumps over to another pipeline, and then therefore they'll have access. So that's not an issue there.
I mean, then our automation becomes mandatory, right? Anyway, like we get your point. Basically, don't show empty pipelines to my user. We'll figure something out around this. Needless, if we can just make a note of that.
Yep, sure.
Next question's from Hervin. Sometimes the workflows take about 10 minutes or more to fire. Does this happen to anyone else?
Does this happen to anyone else?
No, I mean, it's not impossible by any means, but
I've had it happen where all of a sudden, bam, 20 minutes later, one will kick off.
Yeah,
it's
so
not
sorry.
very often, but it's true.
So there was a bug with the funnels where if you went in to edit a funnel, there was a permission error and it would kick people out, and that was fixed. And a majority of the complaints came at around that time, but it shouldn't be a regular thing.
Awesome. Thank you, Varun. Next question we have is from Ben. By when will it be possible to generate and send custom design invoices automatically after a purchase has been completed?
An invoice is a recognition of a payment due. Are you talking about like a paid invoice to recognize that the payment was done? Because that sounds more like a receipt.
Acknowledgement.
Like a charge receipt. I mean, Stripe calls it receipt. So is that what you're looking for?
Yes, I was referring to a receipt, not an invoice. Sorry for the
No worries.
confusion there.
Hey,
Specifically for PayPal, right? Because they have a hard time creating the receipts. And
So we do have the receipts in our pipeline. The designs are already ready, and we are keeping it ready for a couple of developers to join and get this going. And when that comes in, maybe what you can do is you can create an invoice here in the high-level system and mark it as paid, and generate a receipt of that and send it out. In case if you want to send it out to your customers, maybe you can do that. So yeah, that is our plan currently. Maybe if the resourcing plan goes as per our expectation, maybe in about 2 months we'll be able to get this out.
okay, thanks. That's great. Will that be also kind of included in automation that it automatically can be done?
Yes, I mean, these two things have to happen separately. So first we will be bringing it in the invoice organically, and then we will also put it in the workflows definitely.
Thank you. Awesome.
Next question's from Mary. When will the recurring invoices be live?
Live today beta. Crazy video from Sean coming soon.
Beautiful. Next question is from Vit. Question: is it possible to create quick action buttons for email stats? Example given, for all that opened the email to be able to have options to action just to that segment, email or SMS in bulk or bulk tag. Vit, are you present? Okay, doesn't seem. So I'll jump to the next one. Next question's from Kristen. Couple asks here. Can the search field in the agency mailgun settings allow search on domain, not just location name? And then the second part is, can we have a report that shows results for email validation with a calendar/look back option so we can see over the last X amount of times which email validations were run and if they were valid, invalid, or unknown?
So the second part of your ask, Kristen, that is in development. Karthik is working on something. So basically it will show you like a history of validations that you ran. What were the results? What were the contacts that got validated? What validations failed? So the historical view is in the work. For the first ask, currently, yes, we only search on the location name. We can note it down, and I mean, we will try if it's easy for us to just search on the domain as well. If it's easy, we can do it faster. If it requires us to store some other kind of data, it might take a little bit, but we'll definitely note it down.
Oh, that'd be great, Shivam. Thank you.
Awesome.
And can anyone answer the first part for her? It's, can the search field in the agency mailgun settings allow search on domain, not just location name?
Yeah, so I answered that, like I covered it in my answer.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The next one is from Zach. Request, right now when Zoom auth breaks, the only way one knows is when an undefined link is sent out to customers. Would be nice to catch this beforehand.
Yeah, we plan to send emails as soon as these integrations break. So we've done it for a couple of integrations. Zoom is up next.
Awesome. Thanks, Shah. Just a few more questions here. This one's from Don. When looking at the invoice screen, we see invoices that have been paid with the date/time, but can we see how it was paid and if it was manual or via credit/debit card and payment type, etc.?
I answered this on chat. So it is available in the transaction. You can see how the invoice was paid, the manual, whether it was paid by check or something. So it is available in the transaction, but we'll look into how we can actually include this in invoicing. I think it's specifically talking about the invoicing list view. So I answered this on chat. I'll take this up.
Yeah, because users are wanting to, like, they look at their invoice, they see what's paid, not paid, and they want to know, how is it paid, and they click on it, and it doesn't give them any detail. They have to go to the transactions and search for it.
The payment information comes that it is paid on this particular date and this particular time, but it does not come whether it was manual or
right.
This detail is available only in the transactions as of now.
Yeah, they're just not connected.
Yes. Okay. I'll look into this. We'll bridge this gap.
Awesome. Next one is from Ben. Is there a way to analyze if emails sent via bulk action were open?
Email sent via bulk actions or opened? Yeah. Right. Here in bulk actions, show stats. Oh.
Yeah, this is Kristen. Just keep in mind that the stats are going to show dependent on how you actually sent the email. So that's a bulk workflow. So you need to look at your stats inside the actual email and the workflow. If it's a bulk email, then it's going to show in here. It'll just depend on how you actually sent it. If it's a bulk campaign, it would show in the campaign within the email.
Awesome. The next question is from Glenn. I would like to hear about the CRM updates, one being organization object, 2 enhanced contract attributes, multiple emails and multiple actionable phone numbers, and then also a email inbox integration. So emails are threaded into Go High Level.
Yeah, I was waiting for this question. So yeah, the good news is the company object is already scheduled for this quarter. So by the end of this quarter, we should have company object on the contact detail page and most probably even a company smart list. So that's the plan on company, and then there'll be template variables like company_name, and there are some standard fields that we'll be introducing. So that's really the scope that we have for this quarter. Other than that, enhanced contact attributes, multiple emails. So yeah, this is a project that's currently in motion. The only thing with the custom fields reorganization. So what will happen is you'll be able, so we are replacing custom fields section under settings with something called manage fields. And inside manage fields, we'll be listing down standard fields as well as custom fields. And we'll be allowing you to create folders, and within folders, you can rearrange them. So you could create a custom field and you can move that next to the standard field, like phone number. So you could have a phone number, which is a standard field, and you could have another phone number too, which is created as a custom field, and you could position it next to it and it will appear the same way on the contact detail page. But the only thing that you won't be able to do is be able to perform some actionable things on that phone number. It's mainly for archival purpose to begin with. And as we sort of step into the next quarter, we will start to also give you ways in which you could trigger automations on those numbers and emails.
So how do right. The situation I have is my strategic partner. We have 800 locations, right? And it's about 250 customers, but they're all multi-location. So the reality of it is that I have multiple data on everybody, right? Because when we're selling into a B2B environment with multiple locations. So we've got, you know, purchasers at that location. We have regional purchasers. We, you know, it's a multi-tiered environment. And it's just no way, like right now, if I have a cell phone number and a home number and maybe a branch location number that manager typically hangs out at, I can't manage the correspondence between those locations. There's no way to thread anything. It's right now we can't call out, even like if we call out and the cell phone number is in the main phone number field, well, that's fine. We can hit the dialer and do that. But if a guy says, call me at the Cincinnati location, I can't do that. I can't. So like the problem is just the data is a mess. There's no way to manage it.
No, definitely. And I agree. I mean, as far as your use case is concerned, it will get covered eventually. Right now, we are just introducing a way for you to create custom fields and be able to, and again, you could create a custom field for phone number or email, and you can put it against the contact. You could start recording those the way you would and make sure that it is available to you when you're sort of viewing the contact. And as the next step, what we will do is we'll make that numbers actionable. So you will be able to do a host of things on those coordinates that you're capturing that are the ones that are besides the primary contact, the primary numbers. So that's really how we're seeing it.
Well, I appreciate the fact that we're making some headway, but you know, it's been 2 years I've been asking for this. That's why I'm a little bit frustrated. And what about the second scenario there? Like, you know, we still have a world where I have customers that are communicating with their customers via email. And then here we are, we load up GHL, and now there's no way to thread any conversations. And email is the main, you know, they're not coming in from Facebook Messenger and they're not coming in from Google Messenger. These email is the main source, but we have no way to thread those conversations via the inbox and email into GHL as quote unquote for a CRM purpose to be able to track any of this stuff. Is there anything on the horizon there? I mean, what's the plan there?
Yeah, most certainly. So this quarter, we're doing a major upgrade on the conversations page. We're introducing bulk actions, a lot of filters on conversations. And once we are past this phase, that's the very next item we want to target. And in fact, that's something which I've been monitoring on the ideas board too. And it's kind of picking up momentum, at least in the past couple of months. So that's definitely on our radar now. And we also have a team. So yes, there's really, I mean, not much that's left before that project and what we have at the moment. So very soon.
So is it safe to say, you know, I originally thought you would have these the organization object and the enhanced attributes for the contact records. I thought that would be released by the end of Q2. Now we're in Q3 already. So where are we on the map with that?
Oh, well, like I said, I think we did initially ballpark that the company object for Q2, but then we couldn't get to it. In fact, we only got to it partially in terms of planning, and it's only very recently that we finished the planning there. There were a lot of these technical debt items that got piled up over several years of our existence that we had to clear out before we could actually move to these big projects. So that's really where we're at. But again, definitely, like I told you, the company object, as soon as it gets knocked out, the big contact page upgrade, once that is knocked out, the inbox is one of those top items that we have between now and then.
Okay, and one more quick follow-up. I know you want to wrap up. So how am I? So now currently, I'm creating custom fields for some of this data that I'm just trying to at least keep in the system. How is there? Will there be some kind of a tool or migration path or some way to take all these? Like, so I have all these additional fields created for phone numbers and things like that. Is there going to be a way to somehow migrate them into these quote unquote active fields where we'll be able to take action on them, because they currently can't do that? So.
It'll work out of the box. What we'll give you, I mean, like once we roll out this custom fields foldering project, is we'll give you the way to organize them so that you sort of have them placed in the way you'd want it to on the contact view. But then after that, once we give you those capabilities, so it should work right out. I mean, we haven't really planned that out really well, to be honest. But again, that's really the direction we want to take because that's just logical. So,
all right.
But I'll be able to come back to you on this probably by the next town hall call.
All right. I appreciate anything you can update me. I've been waiting a long time for this stuff. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. We're going to do a few more questions, guys, and then we're going to wrap it up. So we're going to try and speed through as many as we can. The next one's from Ben. When will it be a customizable unsubscribe option available, like unsubscribing from marketing emails only instead of a complete D&D?
Yeah, it's actually sooner than we think. But then again, it's going to be, I guess, at least Q4 before we get to that.
Awesome. Next one's from Gus. In the pipelines, we can order them by date added only, descending and ascending. Can we change the order time of appointments from descending to ascending?
Well, we have much bigger updates there. So yeah, I mean, I have this in my list too. So I'll make sure that we knock this out as soon as we get to opportunities. But it's not going to happen this quarter, unfortunately.
Okay. Next one's from Peter. With the new Google LSA integration, is there suggested copy or language we can use to highlight/promote that we are one of the only 4 companies that can provide the Google lead generation?
Well, I'm not sure. You need to ask them, but are you asking it more from a legal standpoint?
I think it's, I mean, it may be more like that, hey, we have something exclusive. Do you guys have like a, like a text, a piece of text or some copy that I can use on my own promotional material? I think this might be that. Is there a legal angle to it? Like, I mean, does Google not want us to promote that, we have LSA integration?
No, of course they would want us to promote, but I'm not sure like what this really entails. So Peter, why don't you write to me and then we can just take this offline. I'm just dropping my email again.
Awesome. Thanks, Shah. Next one is from Don. So if we have the ability with high-level invoices to use a Stripe payment that exists, can we have the option to select a recurring invoice to be automatically paid from the high-level Stripe payment similar to a subscription?
But then it would be a product purchase, a subscription, right? Like invoice use case is different. Like NASA, am I saying it correctly?
No, just to clarify, Don, are you asking about credit cards stored on file that we want to use to automatically charge the subsequent invoices? Is that your question?
That's correct.
Okay, so that is in the pipeline, Don. So so what you're going to do is that on the first payment of a recurring invoice, when the customer enters the card number, we will tell them that, okay, hey, for your subsequent invoices, this is going to be the case, that we will be charging your card automatically. And we will keep going at that until, let's say, the subscription ends, or if the card fails, then we'll again contact the customer back for a new card. So that definitely is in our pipeline. So yeah.
And if there's a card already on file, say they already have one subscription and you're adding another subscription, is it still going to make them click the first one, or can you just have it automatically?
So I'm not sure how to go about that. I mean, just because you have a card on file, is it okay to charge the card automatically without asking the customer? I mean, what would the customer feel? Is it okay to charge automatically?
Zero and Invoice Sherpa do it that way.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we can give that feature and see how it works out.
It's just a checkbox. It's just a checkbox whether you want to do it or not for that particular client. So it's not by default.
I believe you can do that natively in Stripe as well.
Okay.
Just check.
Yeah, we can add that feature.
Charging
I mean,
existing card on file.
We have all the information to do that use case. We can do that.
Awesome. Next one is from Josh. Are there any known issues with the new app end to the forms with contact ID at the end of the URL? I just started using it, and when contacts hit the submit button, the form just hangs/spins indefinitely.
Have you reported that with the support team?
No,
by any chance?
just noticed it literally while I was on the call, so I thought I would ask.
Yeah, if you could just sort of send that in through support, we could have the devs look into it.
Yep, no
It's a
problem.
recent release, yeah, but technically we haven't really heard anything so far.
Yeah, that's
on
why I
that
was
side.
wondering, because it is so new. I wondered if it had gotten much use yet, and so maybe nobody's noticed it.
Yeah, if you could just maybe drop an email with the support team, we'll definitely take
Yep,
a look
no
at it.
problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh. Next one's from James, just a few more. Who do I contact about crashers in the latest iOS Lead Connector mobile app 2.4.21?
So, I mean, there are two things. Like, first of all, if it is like a rare occurrence, like if you saw that maybe the app crashed once a week or something like that, we get the crash report, we get the dump, the stack, and we monitor it closely. Like, we look at what is causing a crash and we keep fixing these things. So if that is happening, once a week, ignore it. But if you are in a position where,
Yeah, it's happening all the time. Basically, the notifications, like if a text message comes in and you click on the notification to take you into the app, that's when it's kind of crashing or at least buggy.
got it. Then jump on with Neelashish so that we can catch this thing red-handed. What device are you using, by the way?
iPhone. I have a screen recording on my iPhone. I can send you the.
Yeah, that would really help. And just to correct, just to get it this right, you are on 2.4. The latest version, right? You downloaded it just now.
Yeah, I just sent you a message, Nailashish. Okay, I'll send you the video.
Thanks for that. Yeah, I'll get it. I'll jump onto it right away.
Thanks, James. And the last question is from Bill. Am I the only one who would love it if the key in the custom fields would be generated as cv.myvalue instead of custom.fields.myvalue?
It's a classic ideas board item. So if you could just sort of route it there, it'd be nice. We'll definitely take a look. I'm hearing this for the very first time, but I can see the value there. So I'll definitely make a note of it on my list too.
10-4. 10-4. All right, everyone. Thank you guys so much for coming to this month's town hall, and we wish you a great rest of your day. Thank you so much, everyone. All right. See you, everyone. Bye, guys.